Hello everyone, welcome to Keto Living. So today, if you watched my Thursday night live in Car Design Thursday, I told you I was going to be late doing this, and yes, I am late. So it's just been one of those weeks though. I've been working out in the evening after I got rid of the kiddos, and I just, it's been busy. But today, I'm so excited about our meal today. We are going to be making barbecue sandwiches and fried potatoes. Yeah, okay, back it up. No, not really fried potatoes, but we're going to be making fried mash patties. Of course, I'm going to be using cauliflower mash and going to be zhuzhing them up a little bit and then making patties out of them and frying them. And that's really good because we're going to be frying them in bacon grease. So more pork. And of course, you don't have to fry them in bacon grease. You can fry them in olive oil or whatever you choose to do so. But I'm really excited, and I want to show you some products that I using to make the barbecue. You've heard me talk about Walden Farms before, and and I'm using them, talking to them about getting us a discount code for products. And so they make barbecue sauce, everything. Walden's Farms makes completely gluten-free, sugar-free, fat-free, calorie-free products. Now, I have to be honest with you. Some of them I tried, haven't liked that much, and some of them I absolutely adore. But I love their barbecue sauce, and they make them in 3 flavors. They have the original barbecue sauce, which is the one we're going to be using today. And they have the honey barbecue sauce. And then they have the thick and spicy, which I'm going to be adding just a tiny bit to that with mixing them together. So what I use today is a pork roast, a pork butt, and it was just a tiny one because, it's only me, so I'm going to wind up putting some of this away. So let me pause you, put the camera down here, and we'll get started. Okay, as you can see, I've already started shredding the pork up. Now, I didn't show you cooking this because, I just didn't want to make 2 videos or whatever, but all I did with this was to put it in the crock pot and cooked it on low. And now mine was a small one, so I only cooked it about 5 hours. But a normal size pork bucket, you want to cook between 7 and 8 hours on low, or 4 to 5 hours on high. So I cooked mine 5 hours on low because I just had a small one, but you can see how much shredded pork that gave me. So all we're going to do, and I did leave my crock pot on low, warm, so that I could put this back in the pot as we cook the rest of the meal. Since this doesn't really have any calories or nothing, I'm not even going to count. But I'm just pouring a little bit of the thick and spicy in there. And then I'm going to pour the original in here. And I'm just pouring it to taste. I tried the original with Angie Burkholder, Angie and Andrew. While I was in Pennsylvania, and that's where I originally found all these products from. And then I contacted the Walden company directly because, well, I'm using their products. I wanted them to sponsor me. But I'm working on, like I said, getting a discount code for you guys. But anyway, so I'm just putting in a little bit at a time. Now, I know this may seem weird to you, but I am from the South, and I like a little bit of mustard in my barbecue. And this is not mustard based, and mustard adds no calories, no, fat, no carbs to it. So I'm going to just mix a little bit of mustard in there because I do like mustard based sauce. So that's an idea that I'm going to be pitching to the company, is to come up with a mustard based sauce, barbecue sauce. So I'm just going to add a little bit more in here. I want it enough to keep it nice and wet while it's in the crock pot. And then I can heat up an extra little cup or 2 to put on top when I'm ready to eat it. And I can tell you, this looks amazing. All right, I'm going to cheat and give it a little taste here. Perfect. So this is going back in the crock pot, and I'll be back in 2 seconds, and we'll get started making the buns. Okay, so we're going to make our buns. Now, I make this much like I make my fathead pizza, with just a few variations. And like I said, I love this. I'm loving the rolls. So what we're going to do is we're going to microwave 2 ounces of cream cheese and 3/4 of a cup of mozzarella. Now, I had a little bit more than 3/4 of a cup, so I just put it all in there because, you know, you can't never have too much cheese. Anyway, you're going to microwave this on 20-second intervals until it gets melted. And then I'm going to bring this bowl down. Okay, into this, we're going to add 1 egg that's beaten. And just by trial and error, I've made changes to different recipes and stuff. We're going to be adding 1 teaspoon of garlic powder. We're going to be adding 2 teaspoons of baking powder. And try to get the non-aluminum baking powder. And then we're going to be adding 1/3 of a cup of almond flour. And this is fine almond flour. And I'm just going to start mixing that up. And then I'm going to check on my dough over here. And it is not melted after 20 seconds. So what I'm going to do is take another spatula. It's getting there though. And I'm just going to mix this up a little bit and put this in the oven probably for about another 20 seconds, and I think it'll be good. My hands are washed, but it's just me, so, you know. Okay, so that's another 20 seconds, and it looks like it's all melted. But if your mozzarella is still stringy like that, then it's not melted. So we need to put that back in there for about another 20 seconds. And I think this time we'll have it enough. Okay, so I think we're good now. Looks pretty melted. I don't know, we still got a couple little strings in there. We really want this to be nice and creamy. We don't want it to be hard because when we put it in with our egg mixture, it's going to get, it won't form right. Okay, now we're ready to go. Now what we're going to do is start incorporating this into the batter, but we don't want to put all of it in there at one time because I don't want the eggs to get scrambled. But that is why I mix everything up ahead of time, because with the eggs mixed into the almond flour and everything, it's least likely of the chance of your batter getting, your eggs getting scrambled. Okay, so we're going to mix this up, and it is going to be sticky. I'm just going to tell you that. It's the same way when we make our fathead pizza. It's very sticky. But now, where I'm different from fathead pizza is, I am going to be adding a 1/2 cup of shredded sharp cheddar. Now you all know that I advocate of shredding your own cheese, because when you buy pre-shredded, they have cellulose sometimes or potato starch on there to keep it from clumping and sticking together. So it's always better if you just grate your own. It really doesn't take that much time. All right. So now this is different from the fathead pizza. So what we're going to be doing is taking a sheet of plastic wrap. And when I was doing so well with it until I tore it. Okay. Taking a sheet of plastic wrap. And we're going to spoon it out onto the plastic wrap. We want to get all the yummy goodness out of it. Okay. Then we're going to lightly dust the top of it with some almond flour. And this is going to keep it from sticking everywhere. And then we're going to wrap it up. Going to slowly wrap it up. And then we're going to start forming it into a ball. Like this. We want to make sure it's in a nice little ball. And we're going to put this in the refrigerator for 30 minutes. And while this is sitting in the refrigerator, we're going to go ahead and preheat our oven to 425 degrees. So when this gets chilled, I'll be back. Okay guys, so while we are waiting on the dough to get cold for 30 minutes, I thought I would go ahead and show you how I'm mixing up the potato mash to fry. So all I have here are some cauliflower mash, and if you watch the video that I put out last week, you will see what kind that I use. So to this, I'm going to add about 1/4 of a cup of almond flour. And I'm going to mix this up. And I'm trying to get this a little bit cooler before I add my egg. I'm going to add 1/2 tablespoon of butter. So I'm just trying to cool this off before I add the egg. The egg is actually going to hold it together nicely, along with the cheese that I'm about to dump in here. Because, you know, it's just, this is a cheesy day. This is my comfort meal. This is definitely a comfort meal for me. I was going to do collard greens today, but I'll be honest with you, I couldn't find any nice looking collard greens anywhere, and I don't do canned collards. They just, you know, canned food, they just put so much preservatives in it and stuff. And even organic, I haven't found that I like collards. So, all right, next one I'm going to add in here, this is about cool enough. I'm going to add 1 egg, and I'm going to go ahead and stir this around so it doesn't get scrambled. Just kind of temper it in there, put it in the middle and mix it all around. And then I'm going to add about 1/2 cup of sharp shredded cheddar and 1/2 cup of shredded mozzarella. And as this stands, it will get thickened. And then I'm going to add, now I love onions when I fry potatoes. And y'all know that onions have carbs in them, but I am going to use minced onions. I'm going to use just a small little palmful. That's probably about a teaspoonful. Maybe a couple more. So I'm just going to mix this up. And then I'm going to let this stand for a few minutes. And then when the buns are in the oven, that's when I'll start frying them. And we should be back soon.